Hello everybody, and welcome back to Random Model Kits and More. In the last episode, we had completed his backpack and this Master Grade VER.KA Stien's backpack and weapons. And here we have his axe, his beam axe. I have his hand on here for a reason. The fingers keep popping off, so I'm going to try to keep it from falling off here. We have his shield, which has one of his axes in there. We have his backpack over here. But we are basically complete with him. Like, we could just be done with him. We can put him up and have him done and put away. But I am going to do a little bit of customization to him. And that little bit of customization revolves around panel lining. Now, there are quite a few ways to panel line. There's a way that I have not touched. It is this special ink that you can get, but the problem with that ink is that it will erode the plastic, so you have to like top coat it and then use the I think it's called Tamio ink. The other ways are these Gundam markers. These are the ones that I have been using. I have two different ones here. I have this fine tip one. It's a very tiny tip. And I have this flow tip marker. Now, most of the time, like, I prefer just to use my fine tip marker because the flow tip, it's very finicky and I just don't want to like deal with it. But and then I have to do a lot of cleanup. But with the fine tip, I have more control and I can do more. Now, what I'm going to be doing on this is there are, again, multiple ways to do panel lining. And panel lining makes like the detail pop. Like, it makes it pop out, and it makes everything kind of look like shadowed and recessed and everything. And it gives the model more depth. There are ways like doing like shadow cell shading. I'm not very good at that, and I don't really want to mess with that too much. And there's also where you like go around every single edge. That every single edge takes a long time to do. I have done it on one. It is my Master Grade Dynamies, and it took me like several hours to do. But what I will be doing is the simple, just like every like kind of like crevice that I can find, I'm going to panel line it. I'm going to put lines in it. I will not be doing like the darker stuff, like this black here or any his darker pieces of armor. I'm just going to be panel lining his light, the light plastic. I'm not probably going to do the whole thing on camera. That will take god-awful forever. So we're just going to do it slowly over like pieces of this. And it does take time. And it is not something, like I said, it is not needed to do. Like, you do not need to panel line. It is just something that brings out the model, brings the depth to the model. I don't know. Yep, see? If you look at this, you can kind of see that. But then if you look over here, you can see that better. And I know that there are panel lining for like darker models. I haven't really messed with that too much. I mainly just do it on my lighter models. You just kind of want to find the crevices and the lines, and you just want to trace them. And you do what you think looks good. There is no perfect way to do this. There is no, you have to do it a certain way. You have to do it this step by this step. You don't have to do that. What I am going to do, though, to make this easier, I'm going to take pieces off. Oh, no. Oh, that's fine. Now, some people will probably tell you that you have to panel line on the sprue. That is not true. You do not have to panel line on the sprue. Panel lining on the sprue can be done, but it takes a lot more time, and then it takes away from building. I do not do that. I just panel line after I'm done. It makes it easier, in my opinion. Because I know where all the pieces go together. I know what pieces are hidden. Or I see what pieces are hidden, I should say. So, like I said, there are multiple ways to panel line. No way, in my opinion, is the proper and correct way to panel line. And it's not hard. It's just time consuming. And it can take quite a long time to completely panel line a model. I mean, it's not going to take like 48 hours or anything ridiculous, but it can take time. And you have to be patient with it, and you have to be careful with what you're doing. Like I said, I like to use this fine tip. It takes me a little bit longer to do than the flow tip marker. And the reason being is the flow tip marker, it actually might be better if I show you. The flow tip marker is interesting, and it is decent, but the flow tip marker is also a little bit uncontrollable. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find like a recess. So we'll go right here. And what happens is when you press this, it is supposed to go and follow the panel like that. And then if we go here, and it'll go around. Now, most of the time, yeah, like that's pretty cool, decent. Like you're thinking, well, why wouldn't I use it all the time? Use that all the time. Well, because it does that. So there's this splotch here. And I have to clean that up. And if you have any cracks, like the pieces like were put together, it won't flow because it'll go into the underbit. See? There it flowed a little bit, but it didn't flow a lot. So instead, I like using my fine tip. It gives me more, like I said, it gives me more control. It also can give me bigger lines. You're not going to get as big lines in the with the flow tip sometimes. So I still have to be careful with what I'm doing. But I will not panel line every single Gundam model that I make. I don't it's not necessary in some of them, and a lot of them are like, okay, well, there's not a lot of crevices and stuff. So there's that. And now, like I said before, if you take a look, there's a big difference. Now, what you should do after you pen a line, and I will probably do it, I just need to wait until it warms up because it is super, super cold outside where I'm at. After you are done pen lining, oop, I did a major mistake here. You want to go and get yourself a top coat, a clear coat. The clear coat that I use for mine is matte, but you can use others like, what do you call it? My brain's not working. Matte finish, silk finish, satin finish, I mean, glossy. I use matte finish. Now see here, like I can panel line this piece. And let's see what it does. Let's see how well it shows up. It doesn't show up too well. So I'm not going to bother with like panel lining these brown pieces here. So we're going to leave the brown pieces alone. Really all we're going to do is we're going to panel line our gray pieces. Our light gray and this bit of gray green. I will take pieces apart and do it like that, like this, because it will give me more control. And I could just put Stien back together, so it's no big deal. Panel lining is simple, it's easy, but it is, again, not necessary. It looks cool when done correctly. It brings out more detail. It's just like, what is that thing? Scribing. Like people do this thing called scribing. I have not done scribing. I don't think I ever will do scribing because that is a whole nother skill set that I don't think that I want to bother with. Scribing, they put their own panel lines and stuff into the models here. And like here, like they'll scribe up here in this piece that has so much empty spot, empty space, and they'll make extra panel lines. And I don't think I want to deal with that. Like I may eventually sometime in the future decide that I want to try it. But as for the far future, or for the near future, I'm never going to really do that. But like I said, when it comes to panel lining, I don't do every piece. I don't do every model because, like on your dark models, I guess I could panel line in a light color, but I just don't really feel the need. And as you can tell, like, we're already 14 minutes in, and, you know, it will take time. Like, I'm not going to be able to do the whole model in this video. And I'm not going to. I'm not going to subject you guys to me doing the whole model in panel lining. That's boring, and I wouldn't want to sit through and watch somebody sit here and basically color a model. Now, like I said, the model is basically done. All I have to do is panel line. And then the only other thing I have to do is I have to put on his decals. And surprise, surprise, the decals that come with this are decals that I have never messed with. They are water slide decals. So, I don't know. I'm not going to do a video. I'm not going to put the water slides on video. I'm going to do them myself. Because I want to learn how to do them because I have never done them. And I then maybe in a future video when I come across water slides, I'll be able to show you how to do water slides. Water slides are a whole different animal. You need like lukewarm water or something, and you need to cut out the piece, know where you're going to place it, and you need to what was I saying? You need to cut out the piece, then you need to know where it's going, and oh, well, I guess that's fine. See, the head here has a lot of ridges, so the head is actually going to take me a minute to do. Not a whole lot, but it will take me a little bit. Because yeah, I want to follow every little line, like, you know. But water slide decals, they're a different animal than what I've ever done. Excuse me. They, you know, you need the water, and then you need like a setting agent, which I have some. So I will definitely give them a go. Oh, this line is very light. There's a line across the helmet here, across the head, and I have to like follow it. And then there's smaller edges here. Oh, smaller edge here. But yeah, so this is basically what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to panel line. I'm not going to do the whole model. I'm just going to do up until about 30 minutes. And if I get all of the model done, great. I'm not going to, though. The head alone is probably going to take me quite a few minutes here. But it is not a difficult thing. I need to rest my hands because my fingers have gone numb. The next model that we will be working on is an RX-78 Granddaddy. So look forward to that. It's the first RX-78 that I have built, so that's going to be fun. I have, never put one of him together. I've stayed away from him, not for any particular reason. He's the OG, he's the first, so like I haven't really just messed with him. I've done all the other really cool, weird ones, and whatever looked cool at the time, like that's just what I grabbed. And like I said, I haven't watched like all of the Gundam, so like I don't know everything about Gundam, but I have watched the OG and Zeta. So now there's this really small ridge inside of his face. I doubt you can see it, but I am not going to bother trying to get in there because my fingers are shaky. So it'll probably just ruin it. It'll make a mess. Okay. And I do believe that's the head. The helmet, whatever. Close this out so I can... the legs are probably the parts that are going to take some of the most to panel line. Because, you know, there's a lot going on with the legs. But these small pieces here, they're not going to take me that much time. And I can just go in, panel line this bit here, bring out the detail. It's not a huge uptick on the chest here. But see, like, if I panel line this part, can't even tell that anything was done. So there's no point. It's a darker piece, so I'm not going to bother. There we go. I am going to go in here and I'm going to make marks in this white because there are grooves in here. But that's it. And then that piece is pretty much done now. Let's see, what are we at? We're at 22 minutes. So, in here, like, there really is only like a few pieces here that I should panel line. So that's what I'll do. Oh my! See, I just made a huge mistake. But it's fairly easy to wipe off, and thus it's why it is recommended to top coat it. Yes, there we go. I'm going to take this off. Just makes it easier. Again, I can just put everything back together. It makes it easier to hold, so... But the thing with the Tamio ink, I do believe that's what it's called. Not only do you have to top coat with it, but like it's the same as a flow marker. Like if you go and put it on a spot and there's like a crack, it won't do anything. It'll just float into the crack. Like right here, if I were to put like something here on this line, all it's going to do is I'm not even going to panel line that. That makes sense. All it will do is just float into it and follow the least path of least resistance. So, which will be inside and it'll fall into crevices and it won't do anything. So, I haven't messed with Tamio ink. I might later at some point see how it works and see what I like better, because right now all I have been doing is this marker. And like I said, I like the marker. It gives me more control. I'm not particularly a huge fan of the flow marker. Now, if there's huge pieces that are like very long, I guess like I have done it, used it, but I don't mess with it too often anymore. My hands are numb, like solidly, completely numb. And that's one of the things that I have an issue with when I'm doing my panel lining. Alright, I'm gonna take off my legs here. So, give me a second. Whatever's easiest, I guess. The nice thing about Gundams is that you can take them apart and you can do the things. Now, you could go in here and you could panel line all of the underparts here, but I'm almost never going to see this, so I really don't care about it. So instead, all I'm going to worry about panel lining is up here. And there are a lot of pieces here. There are many, many pieces, so it will actually take me time to panel line each and every one of these. Like I said, it's not going to take a god-awful forever. I mean, I've already done it for almost half an hour already, so it'll probably take like an hour. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. The legs are probably the thing that will take me some of the longest time, but there we go. But panel lining is interesting. I like it. I don't do it for every model. I like to do it for like my lighter colored models. So, and like I'm not going to panel line this part right here or down in here because, like, again, you're not going to see it, but I will hit that right there. And that's got like all of the markings. So I'm gonna go over here and hit this. And I'll go around this just like I did over there. Okay. It's just bringing out the detail, adding shadow in, giving more life to the model. Just make sure that you clean up edges that you make mistakes on. The thing that you can use to clean up even better, it kind of rubs it really, and I don't know how I feel about it sometimes because it irritates me and it makes a huge mess. That's why another reason why I don't use the flow tip is you use isopropanol and a Q-tip and maybe some smaller tipped thing, and you just clean off the piece that you made a mistake on. Okay, there's that. Go. And there. Okay, there's that. But you see what I'm doing. It is not a difficult process. It is actually fairly simple. But I am going to call the video here. The Master grade VER.KA Stien is complete. The only thing I need to do is the water slides. I will do that on my own time, like I said. And that is everything. I will panel line this. I will put it all back together, and it's done. And we will move on to the next model. Thank you all, everybody, for watching. If you liked what you see, give me a like, subscribe, comment, share, you know, all of the algorithm stuff so more people can see, can find Gundam and every other kind of model. And thank you, everybody, and have a good day.